Hey guys, welcome back to Paradise. Today we're doing some car maintenance. We are going to be changing our brake pads on our F-150 here. So as you know us, we do everything on a budget. So today we're doing it on a budget, doing it ourselves. We're getting down there on brake pads, so we had to go buy some new ones. So we got these. These are Duralast Gold. We got these from like AutoZone or one of those little stores like that. They're supposed to be about like $50 for the fronts. So you get 4 pads in there, which is good for 50 bucks. And then we had a coupon for $10 off 50 bucks. So we got these for around $40. And then it comes with, or it doesn't come with, but you pay and you get this brake lubricant with it as well. So today we're going to be changing our brake pads out here in nature, because that's where I do everything. We don't have any cement or anything, but so pretty much what we're gonna have here. And oh, by the way, so we went to like the dealership and stuff, and they're the ones that told us that they were bad in the first place, so we had to change them. They were gonna do it, and they were gonna charge us $200. So the way we're doing it here is about 50 bucks, under pretty much under $50. So we're saving $150 just by doing it itself. And as you'll see today, it's actually pretty simple to do. I'll go through the tools you're going to need here, and we'll just jump right into it. So first off, you're going to need your brake pads. Make sure they're the right ones for your vehicle, and make sure they're the front brake pads if you're changing the front, or rear if you're changing the rear. Let's see. Let's go in order. There's some random gloves. If you need some mechanics gloves, you're going to need some sort of lubricant for the brakes. Usually you'll buy that with it when you get the brake pads. We got a 1/2-inch socket here, and then kind of a pipe that attaches to it so you get a little more leverage. We got a C-clamp. This is a 4-inch C-clamp, and this is the small size that you can use, so 4 inches or bigger. Flathead screwdriver, steel brush, bungee cord, your jack, and your tire iron. And I think that is all we're going to be using today, so most of it is pretty simple. This I found on the road. This I found on the road. Pretty much that I found on the road. Pretty much everything we found. That's probably the only thing I actually had to purchase. But you could use that for a lot of other things. They actually make, I'll show you what it's used for, but they actually make a tool that's specifically for what this is going to do. But this obviously you can use for a lot more different things. So cheap, just a couple bucks, you can get one of those. But otherwise, yeah, let's just jump into it. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is grab your tire iron here, and we're going to loosen up the lug nuts before we jack up the vehicle. So you're just going to want to get all the lug nuts just so they're able to come off with your hands there. Now we're going to move over and we're going to put the jack underneath the truck. Okay, so we got the jack underneath the vehicle here, and as you can see, since we're on dirt, not on a solid surface, I put a board underneath there just for a little more support, then it won't dig into the ground as much, and the top is attached to the frame. And I'm also going to use some rocks as kind of my truck stand, I guess. So in case the jack decides to slip out, I'll have something holding up the vehicle. Obviously you usually have a truck stand, but yeah, I don't have one, so I'm going to improvise and put some rocks underneath there, and that should hold it up in case the jack decides to fall out. But always just leave the jack up while we're doing this whole thing. Don't take it off or anything. But if you do have a truck stand, yeah, definitely put it underneath there, somewhere close to the front of the frame. Now that we got the jack in place, we can jack it up and get the tire off. So just jack it up enough to get the tire off the ground there. Alright, now you got the vehicle jacked up, you can remove your lug nuts and remove the tire. Now that you got the tire off, what you're going to want to do here is actually turn the steering wheel to the left here, so that way this wheel is going to pop out to the right, so you can get at this a little easier. So now the only bolt you're actually going to be removing here is this one down here, and that is where your 1/2-inch socket is going to come in handy. I just have an open-ended wrench, so this is what I'm going to use, and I just put this pipe over top of it so I can have a little extra leverage. So loosen that one up and remove it, and then we'll go from there. There we go. Now we've got the bolt out. Set that aside. Don't lose that. And this should be free to open now. As you can do that. And now this is where the bungee cord is going to come in handy. So now grab your bungee cord. This one's probably about a little over a foot here. And you just want to hook it. There's like a hole up here in the frame. You can hook it to that one. And you're just going to open this up. And there's a hole at the top here. There you go. And you can hook that into there, just so it holds the caliper up out of the way, and you don't have to worry about damaging the brake hose at all. So that's just right behind here. Because if you take this top screw out too, then you're gonna have the whole thing dangling, and it's just a lot easier because this is your brake pads right here, and that's what we're gonna be working on next. So now that's up out of the way. Pretty much these should just slide out for you. There you go. And same on the other side. There you go. There's your brake pads. As you can see, a little worn down. Pretty, I'll show you what the new ones look like here in a second. But, alright, so now you're going to take your wire brush and just do some cleaning. Actually, before we do that, take your flathead screwdriver. We're just going to pop these clips out. So, they should just fall out. Should be 2 on each side. There you go. So they're just little clips like this. You'll get new ones with your new brake pads, so you'll replace those. So once those are out, now you can grab your wire brush and just do a little cleaning where they're sitting at in here. Get any dust or residue out of there. There we go. Now they're all clean. So in your box now you'll get some new clips. You want to get those out. There should be 4 of them. Be pretty much the same, except clean now. You're just going to want to pop them back in. So it's got a little clip on the back. That'll clip on the back of it, and you'll just push this front down, and it should clip in. Hear a little click like that. That means you're in place. That one's a little awkward to get to, but now we're in. Alright, now that that's in, now we're going to get to what we need the C-clamp for. So as you see here in the caliper, these are 2 pistons, and they actually push the brake pads. So when they get thinner, they stick out farther. So that way they can still hit the rotor when they're worn down. So now what we need to do is push these back in, so they'll fit the thicker brake pads. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our old brake pads that we just took off of it, and we're going to place it up here, just like that. And now we're going to put the C-clamp around it, and we're just going to tighten it. I find that you can't really do both at one time, so you just have to do the top one a little bit, and then do the bottom one a little bit, and then do the top one a little bit, and the bottom one a little bit. But when you're putting on new brake pads, the biggest thing is pretty much you're going to go all the way in, pretty much as far back as they can go, so until this is flush with the caliper here. So it'll have room for the new ones. Alright, so we got our C-clamp. Open it as far as you can go. If you got a 4-incher, if you got a bigger one, fantastic. But 4 inches, this is about the perfect size to do this. Grab one of your old brake pads here, put it up against the piston, and slide it in, and then just tighten it down. And the piston should just recede, and then when you let off, the piston will not move back forward, it'll just stay in place. So do the top one a little bit, and move down and do the bottom one, until you get it all the way recessed. Okay, and that's what it's going to look like when the pistons are pushed all the way back here. So now, if you try to close this when we put the new pads on here and it doesn't close, that means that these aren't pushed back far enough. So just keep pushing them back until they fit over the new brake pads. And also, this is where I was talking about, I use a C-clamp. So this works pretty well. You just wrap it around there. They do actually make an actual tool that does both of them pretty much at the same time. It'll go through there and you'll tighten it down. I don't really see the point of getting one because it's a tool that only does one thing. So C-clamp you can use for other things, but just so you know, that is out there. All right, and now we're ready to put on the pads. So first off, we're going to put this lubricant on. It's just made to stop the brake noise and everything like that. So we're going to put some on our new holders here, on all those, and we're also going to put them on the brake pads. All right, so you just rip a little corner off there, and that's pretty much what it's going to look like. So just take a little bit and just rub it on each of these. So. Alright, now that those are done, you're going to take your brake pads. These are the new ones. See how much thicker those are from the old ones. There we go. So we're going to take these and we're going to put it all on the back here. Just make sure not to get it on the front at all. There we go. Now, once you got that on, you're just going to want to make sure put the ceramic side towards the inside of the rotor. Make sure you don't put it on backwards. And then there's pretty much only one way. There's just little flanges at the end here. You're just going to want to sit them in these new clips. So it should just sit in there. There you go. And the back side. There we go. Now that you got the brake pads in place, all you're going to want to do is unhook your caliper here from your bungee cord, and it should swing down and close right on top of that. So now when you're swinging it down, it's probably going to hit right here on this bolt, so you just have to push this in, and that'll slide right into place there. And pretty much back. Now just take that bolt that you took out before. There we go. Replace that bolt. And tighten that down. Alright, now that you got the pads all on, you can put your tire back on. Alright, now that you got the tire in place, just put your lug nuts back on. Alright, so just put them on finger tight first, and then get the tire level. And then you can tighten them down a little more. So there's no wobble in the tire there. Alright, there we go. Now, you can grab your tire iron, tighten them down a little more. I always want to go in a star pattern. Just go the opposite side every time, so that way the tire goes on flat to the rim. Now that you got them all a little tighter with the tire iron here, we're going to lower the vehicle back down, and you're going to make sure they're tightened down to the right torque specifications. There you have it, guys. Changing your brake pads in the wilderness. Last thing you're going to want to do is get in the vehicle and pump the brakes a few times. First few times it'll probably go all the way to the floor. It's just pretty much pushing those pistons back out to make up, or to pretty much recognize the new brake pads that are in there. So it's a little warm out today. It's nicer to do it in an air-conditioned shop, but that probably took me maybe about half an hour, so it'll probably be about an hour to do both sides. And again, if you had some of the nicer tools, it'll probably take you maybe half an hour to do both sides. But otherwise, yeah, that'll save you a lot of money, $150 at least. And you usually do them around every 30 to 50,000 miles. We just did ours at like 26,000 because we do a lot of back roads and a lot of downhill and a lot of heavy hauling. So it probably wore them out a lot faster. But in the Chevy, we never changed them at all, and we did like 50, 60,000 miles. So I don't know why those ones must have been a little better than the Ford ones we had. But we're going to give these a shot. Duralast Gold. They're supposed to be pretty decent, so we'll give them a shot. They're ceramic. Usually if you're doing more heavy loads, you're supposed to be doing more like semi-metallic or something like that. But anyways, that's it for today. If you guys are interested in any more, If you guys are interested in any more automotive tips or anything like that, I started a side channel. I'll put a link down below. It's called RTR. I just wanted to show you guys some basic car maintenance tips on the road, just for everybody. Not everybody has all these tools. Not everybody got taught all this stuff when they were younger. So I'm just out here learning and trying to do the best I can on what I have and the knowledge of what I've learned. So if you want to help out, that'd be fantastic. Check out the channel below. Subscribe. That'd be fantastic. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. If you got any questions, leave them below. Bye.